What's up guys? Today I've got my hands on a new powerhouse mini PC from Minisforum. So this is the G7 Pro from the AtomMan series, powered by an Intel Core i9 and a dedicated NVIDIA GeForce RTX 5070, all running on Windows 11 Professional. So on paper it already sounds absolutely insane. So let's go ahead and find out what this little beast can really do. Roll the intro. So let me quickly show you what you get inside the box. So you got your user manuals inside this little envelope here. You got two bags of screws, two long screws, and you got some smaller screws as well. Power cable, HDMI cable, and we have a rather large power supply, 280 watt power supply. And last but certainly not least, the mini PC itself. All right, now let's talk price. At the time of shooting this video, the G7 Pro comes in multiple configurations starting from around £1,300, depending on the RAM and storage you choose. Now let me quickly run through the specs. Now this mini PC is powered by an Intel Core i9 14900HX. That's 24 cores, 32 threads, and up to 5.8 GHz turbo. So this is basically a laptop flagship CPU shoved into a mini PC body. And then Minisforum went ahead and paired it with a dedicated NVIDIA GeForce RTX 5070 laptop GPU with 8 gigs of GDDR7 memory for a small machine. That is crazy power. You can configure it with up to 96 gigs of DDR5 RAM running at 5600 MTS, plus 2 NVMe slots, one PCIe 5 and one PCIe 4, supporting up to 4 terabytes in each slot. So storage is also not a problem. Now the configuration I have here is 32 gigs of RAM and 1 terabyte SSD. Now let's talk design. So the G7 Pro is part of Miniforum's AtomMan series. And honestly, this doesn't look like your typical mini PC at all. It's got that tall console style build. And if I was to place it right next to a PlayStation 5, you can see they are nearly the same height, although the Minisforum is a lot slimmer. Let me quickly tell you the dimensions. This thing is 398 millimeters tall, 260 millimeters wide, and it's 80 millimeters in depth. Furthermore, it weighs around 2.6 kgs, so it's solid, definitely feels like a proper desktop replacement rather than a tiny toy cube. You've also got dual turbo fans, a triple heat pipe radiator, and PCM cooling built in. So yes, cooling is serious business on this machine. Now let's check out the ports and connectivity. We've got a physical power button. We have another button here, and I'll put it up on screen to show you what it does. You've got what looks like LED lights. We've got a full-size USB-A 3.2 Gen 1 port. We've got a full SD card reader, a USB-C 3.2 Gen 2 port, a 3.5mm combo headphone and microphone jack, and then we have another USB-A 3.2 Gen 1. If we flip this thing around, now on the back of the unit, we've got some ventilation, followed by power socket. We've got a USB 4 port. We have an HDMI 2.1 port supporting up to 8K at 60 Hz or 4K at 120 Hz. Then we've got another USB-A 3.2 Gen 1 and a 2.5 gig Ethernet port, followed by more vents. So that is pretty much all your ports. So you can't use the mini PC like this because on the back you have a whole bunch of vents that don't really want to block. So it does come with its own stand. The stand is very sturdy. It's got some weight to it. And you're simply dropping this down into the stand like so. And then you turn this around and secure with those screws. So I just want to show you how you can access the internals for the upgrades. You've got 3 screws you need to remove from the bottom. So let's quickly do that. Okay, with the 3 screws removed, so the lid does just come off. So the lid's off. Now what's interesting is only 3 screws to access the internals. How easy have they made it? So you can see we have dual fans, you can see multiple heat pipes. Okay, so here is your main 1 terabyte internal SSD, and there is a spare slot over here. Now just under this sticker we have our RAM. If I peel it off carefully, just to show you guys, we've only got 1 stick of RAM attached. So that is 1 stick of 32 gigabyte DDR5 RAM, Crucial branded. And you've got a spare slot. Maximum RAM supported is 96 gigabytes. Plenty of options to upgrade that RAM in the future. That's a quick look at the internals. Very impressed with how they set this up. And when you open it up, it does pretty much look like the internals of a laptop, minus the screen. Alright, so here we are at the Windows desktop. You can see I've already set my favorite wallpaper. So this mini PC is running full version of Windows 11 Professional, and you have all the usual Windows apps pre-installed for you. If we go back, you can see you've got Control Center here as well. You've got NVIDIA Control Panel, Thunderbolt Control Center. So here is the Minisforum Control Center, where you can see information on the load, the temperatures. You've got two modes that you can work in, work mode or game mode. So the lighting effects can be customized from here. So you can have breathing, gradient, or rainbow. Or you can have it constantly on, which is the default, or you can totally switch them off if you didn't want any lighting. And under settings, you've got a few options that you can play around with, like Windows key disabled, quick cooling, which is off by default, and graphics card mode. As this is the full version of Windows, you have access to the Windows App Store, so you can download all your favorite games and apps. Alright, now let's check out this system properties. So it confirms some of the specifications here. The storage is 1 terabyte, from which 932 gigs are actually usable. The graphics card is the NVIDIA GeForce RTX 5070. It's a dedicated laptop GPU with 8 GB of video memory. Installed RAM 32 GB, and you can see the speed information there. Processor Intel Core i9 14900HX, clocked at 2.2 GHz. 64-bit operating system and Windows 11 Professional. And if I click on the product and activation, you can see it's activated and ready to use. So here is our 1 terabyte C drive, and I've not installed anything yet. I've just put on my wallpapers. You can see we've got 929 gigs actually usable. Now the second drive you see is my 64 gig flash drive, which contains all my 4K video samples, and that is exactly what we're going to be testing next. So let's play some 4K video samples from a USB drive to see how it performs. The first video is going to be the high bitrate 4K jellyfish demo, and that's 160 megabits per second, and you can see it's playing back super smooth with no issues. Test out the 180 megabit per second high bitrate jellyfish demo, and again, no sweat at all. Video is playing back super smooth directly from the USB drive. And the real test, 400 megabits per second high bitrate jellyfish demo, playing back like it's nothing. So yeah, you're going to be able to play your high bitrate 4K collection with no issues at all. So I also tested some 4K 60 samples with different HDR formats, and they all work great straight out of the box using the default media player. So I didn't even have to download any codecs to make it work. Alright, moving on now to some YouTube streaming. Alright, so we're moving on to gaming, and the first game we're playing is GTA 5 Enhanced. I have the resolution set to 4K, and I have the graphics preset maxed out to maximum RT. The game is playing super smooth with no issues at all, and you can see we're achieving a frame rate of around 54 frames per second. It does fluctuate up to 60, and it goes down to around 52. So all in all, the game is playing pretty well on this system considering all the graphics are maxed out. Now just to see what happens, I've switched the resolution to 1440p at 60 Hz, and you can see the frame rate has bumped up to around 100 frames per second average. So that is the performance boost you can expect when you turn the resolution down to 1440p. So this time we're keeping everything the same, 1440p, maximum RT, and what I did now is just turn up that refresh rate to 144 Hz. And you can see on average we're achieving just around 100 frames per second. So that just gives you more buttery smooth gameplay. Okay, so now we're playing something a bit more recent. This is Call of Duty Black Ops 7. So we're playing at 4K resolution, 60 Hz, and I have the graphics maxed out to extreme. And you can see we're achieving well over 100 frames per second. So this competitive multiplayer game playing extremely well on this mini PC. Alright, so next game we're playing is Assassin's Creed Mirage. And we've got the resolution set to 4K 60, and we have the graphics preset maxed out at ultra high. and you can see the game looks and plays beautifully at 4K. Alright, next up we're playing Undisputed Boxing, resolution 4K 60, and the graphics maxed out to ultra, and we're achieving just over 60 frames per second quite comfortably, and the game looks and plays really nice.
The unified heavyweight champion is down! Everything looks better in slow motion. Let's take another look.
A shot from the gods took him out.
1, 2, 3. So that brings us to our benchmarks, beginning with Geekbench single core score 2993 and multi-core score 14664. And in 3D Mark Time Spy, overall score 14,016. And in 3D Mark Firestrike, overall score an impressive 29,538. AnTuTu benchmark test, this mini PC achieves 2.4 million. And to give you an idea of how powerful this mini PC is, here's my latest top performing mini PC chart for 2026. This chart compares the newest mini PCs and handheld PCs, all ranked by Geekbench multi-core scores. So higher the score, faster the system, higher the position, it's simple as that. And for anyone who doesn't care about benchmarks, I've also given each system an overall score out of 100, based on performance, features and real world use. So based on that, the Minisforum G7 Pro takes the #1 spot. Even with a Geekbench score of 14664, its dedicated GPU pushes it way ahead once you look at the gaming and 3D performance benchmarks. So yeah, no debate here. The #1 mini PC you can buy right now, the G7 Pro, is the new king, earning an overall score of 98 out of 100. Strong start to the new year for Minisforum. Let's see who tries to knock it off the top. Now with that being said, you can view the full versions of all my charts online at chigstech.com and read them at your leisure and completely free of charge. So there you have it guys, that was the Minisforum G7 Pro, and here are my thoughts. So starting off with what I liked, the G7 Pro delivers an impressive amount of power in a compact form factor, making it ideal for desks or setups where space is limited. It's an RTX 5070 GPU, provides strong gaming and creator level performance, while the advanced cooling system keeps temperatures under control even during demanding workloads. Connectivity is excellent too, with Wi-Fi 7 for ultra-fast wireless speeds, and you have a 2.5 gigabit Ethernet port for high-performance networking. You also get modern storage flexibility thanks to both PCIe 5.0 and PCIe 4.0 NVMe slots. The overall build feels very premium, giving the system a high-end look and feel. Now, the things to consider. This level of performance doesn't come cheap, and the G7 Pro sits firmly in the higher price bracket. Now in the traditional desktop PC market, you can build a more powerful tower for less money. Though you would lose that compact form factor, noise can also be an issue as the fans become noticeably loud when the system is under full load. There is a button on the front, and that is to switch off the fans, but I guess the fans turn on for a reason, so switching them off is not going to be a good idea. So who is this mini PC for? Well, gamers with limited space, giving you a near desktop performance without requiring a full tower. Also great for content creators who can benefit from 4K editing, 3D and heavy multitasking. This is also ideal for a home office or studio setup. It's compact, silent in idle and looks clean on a desk. You could also use this as an HTPC living room powerhouse media player with up to 8K output, small footprint and super powerful. So bottom line, the Minisforum AtomMan G7 Pro is an absolute beast. Powerful CPU, strong GPU, great cooling and a ton of upgrade options, all inside a compact chassis that barely takes any space. It's not trying to be budget friendly, it's here to compete with full-size desktops, and honestly, it does hold its own to a certain degree. So that's all for this video. Let me know in the comments, if you had this mini PC, what game would you be playing on it first? Drop a like if you found this video useful, and if you're new here, feel free to sub to the channel and hit that bell icon so you don't miss what is coming up next. This is Chigs signing off. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you all in the next one. Peace.